2:30. You missed it. No.
We just saw Spider-Man Homecoming, and let's just get this out of the way. If any of you are concerned about, oh, is this just going to be another origin story? It's not. And we'll explain why in a minute. So you don't get to hear the uncle's death, and you know how the characters came to be and all that. You don't have to know about that all over again. How he got spider powers. You don't need to know all that again. So now that we have your attention,
it's own story.
Yes. Now that we have your attention, let's get on to Spider-Man Homecoming. This semi-sequel to the fantastic Captain America Civil War follows Peter Parker, played this time by Tom Holland. By the way, no relation to the director of Child's Play, is getting used to his powers from the last film. He is friends with Tony Stark, and he was the one who designed his new suit. And his new suit is actually really cool. There's like little blinking eyes, and it has some really cool spider gadgets, and it's almost kind of like another Iron Man suit, kind of, although not really. Tony Stark basically...
He's like a father figure.
Yeah, he's a father to him, and he just kind of wants him to be the local guy, you know, the guy who saves, you know, people from criminals on the street and become.
It was actually pretty funny, as you know. Oh my god.
I figured if they kept this on, if they dragged this out any longer, he's gonna do PSAs about saying no to drugs. but thankfully they didn't do that.
It was pretty funny. I give it that much.
Oh, the comedy was probably the best part. What I liked. We're going to talk about what we liked and what we didn't like.
The character development was really good.
Yes. Peter Parker does not want to be treated as a kid anymore, even though he's only 15. Which I think is really cool because he is very mature for his age. And Tony just kind of sees him as a kid. And, and everybody around him kind of treats him like a kid.
For him and his age, it's hard for him to balance his superhero stardom, and also balances love that he likes, a girl that he wants to get noticed by the girl.
Her name is Liz. She's the girl next door that Peter's trying to get. So yes, no Gwen Stacy, no Mary Jane Watson. You're safe.
At the moment, at least.
She was okay. Just okay. I think if anything, she could have been, you know, her acting could have been a little bit, you know, better, but other than that, she was a decent character. I actually like her better than Mary Jane in some respects, on the basis that
I believe that's not Mary Jane.
I've seen Mary Jane.
Mary Jane is a redhead. That's not.
Yeah.
Her hair is not red.
I know, but I'm just saying, I've seen Mary Jane way too many times. I'm open to something different. We have Michelle, who's like some kind of creepy girl.
She just says MJ. I like her. She was pretty cool.
The side characters, well, the new characters, there's Ned, who...
I like his friend.
Ned is...
He's funny as hell.
I mean...
He's asking so many... When he finds out he's Spider-Man, he asks so many questions.
I didn't like him.
What? Dude, he was funny as hell.
And here's why. He's had a few...
Oh,
I mean, he has a few... He has a few funny lines in the movie.
What is wrong with you with the new funny dude? He is awesome. You think he's a bad actor or something?
No, that's not the problem. I'm pretty sure he came off of Pitch Perfect or some Disney show. But my problem with... And I'm about to sneeze, oh my god. My problem with Ned is that he's about as three-dimensional as a toothpick. I'm talking about the character. We're focusing on characters here.
You mean he's fat?
But character... No!
He calls him a toothpick. He doesn't look like a toothpick. It's like skinny. Like, he called what? A toothpick?
We know nothing about this guy. All we know is that he's just a nerdy guy who...
That's actually Peter's best friend.
His only friend, because everybody else just calls him a dork and a loser and all that. Just the usual stuff. And
you do see Flash Thompson in this movie. That guy who's riding the
Who
Flash Thompson is the guy. Remember that's my dad's car.
Yeah.
That's Flash Thompson.
But the other nerdy guy?
No. Remember when they were when Spider-Man was jumping in the car right here? It was like talking to him like,
This is my dad's car.
Yeah, that's Flash Thompson.
Oh. See, I couldn't remember. Ned is so one-dimensional. I'm just like...
Oh my God.
He reminds me of a kid from Up, but way better, actually.
Really? He's not that... Dude, this guy is not that...
What?
He's not that annoying as the kid as Up. Seriously, that guy, he's more annoying.
The kid in Up is horrible.
But this guy is a really good actor. He did a good job as betraying his best friend and actually keeping it a secret most of the time.
Well,
most of the time.
see, that's the thing. When Ned discovers that Peter is Spider-Man, it's actually kind of funny because he drops his model of the Death Star,
so many
and then after that he asks like a zillion questions, and then he hears some girls talking about Spider-Man, and he almost reveals the secret. But what I think is probably the worst quality about him is that the only other trait we know about him is that he likes Legos. That's it. But I just couldn't really feel myself attached to this guy, except for the fact that he had a few decent funny lines, I will admit. Especially for one toward the third act.
This movie was amazing.
But that line, but I will admit, there was one line that he said that made me laugh out loud.
That was
the theater that was jam-packed with people was laughing hysterically at that joke for a good solid minute. I was probably laughing the hardest because it was so funny. When you hear it, it is, oh my God, it's unforgettable.
Let me see what he says. Okay, I want to say this, but what he said was like, let me say this, like, I am watching, the teacher asked, what are you doing? He's like,
and he's
I'm watching porn. Like, what?
He said, I'm looking at porn in a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, God damn.
That was so out of nowhere.
But it wasn't, so, you know.
Oh, crap, I forgot. Okay, we need to talk about the villain.
The Vulture was excellent.
The villain here is played by Michael Keaton of Birdman and Batman. He plays the Vulture, who decides to steal energy crystal bombs, the radioactive bombs that he wants to shatter. He wants to basically merge their powers together, and you fill in the blanks because I have no idea what his Okay. To its credit, though, I like villains that are mysterious, that you want to know more about them, that you want to, they're like a puzzle. You connect the pieces together and try and figure out who he is. That's great. I like the fact they did that.
There's a twist to the guy, though. We do find out something like important about him a little bit later. Like, it's like
kind of. I wouldn't really call it a twist.
No, it was a twist. When I saw that was actually that's the girlfriend's father. Wow, like, oh, what the hell? Then he didn't know what he had to do. Peter was like, what should I do? Do this. Like, he didn't even know. He didn't want to cause problems with this girl that he liked, and he wanted to get out of there for the homecoming dance, and he just wanted to not to do, like, make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. So he tried to take his measure in his own hands. And I actually do like Tony Stark as a father figure in this film. It was really exciting. He was also funny. I give him that. He was actually pretty good.
I did not know who the Vulture was, or I don't know who he is.
His name was Michael Keaton, right?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Michael Keaton as Vulture, he was mysterious, a little bit scary, pretty good, but I believe he will return. For sure, he definitely will come back.
But I mean, the good news is that he's mysterious. I like that.
When he comes back, I believe you'll know more about him a little bit later. I think they have a little bit more things there for him a little bit later on in the genre that we will see.
I like the fact that he's mysterious. I love that. But to me, it seems like a strange turn of events for Marvel movies, because in every Marvel movie, you always knew what the villain was up to. Here, it just kind of went in a different direction, and they made him completely mysterious, and you have no idea what he's doing. And by the end of the movie, you have no clue what he was up to anyway. So it's hard for me. I think he was a good villain because he was mysterious. However, I just wish we could have known more about him and what he was really up to.
You probably know more about him later on, the next genre.
Probably. I'm open to something different, something new, something we hadn't seen before. No, this is different. This is a completely different Spider-Man.
I know. I like it.
It's the everything that happened before is
All
gone.
new characters.
It's a revamp of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It's different and it works.
I liked all the new characters. The funny people were in there. Good actors.
It's got good character development.
His friend was so hilarious. I loved him. He's actually one of the funny. You know what? He's the one who made it good as the film. I also liked Happy in this film also.
Oh, that's another thing. Happy is the guy who's okay. The Avengers headquarters is moving to a different location near New York, the outskirts of New York, and John Farrow, you know him. He plays Happy, and I know it's a funny name, but this guy actually takes everything very seriously. But I like him, even though he has a small part. Still, he actually does contribute in some way. By the end, you'll know. And also, it said in the credits that Gwyneth Paltrow was in this movie. I didn't see her at all, to be honest, because
Stanley was in here.
Because Tony Stark's fiance, Stark. Pepper, yes.
She returns. Awesome.
For like 30 seconds.
At least she got a part with something. At least.
She had more development in Iron Man 3. We did have a decent cast in this. I like the fact that it's not Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I like the fact that it's not
Tom Holland
Mary
as Spider-Man was a perfect choice.
Oh yes,
for Spider-Man. He captures his teen art really well as Peter Parker.
Yes, I thought, to be fair, he actually did a good job with the material that he was given. At the very least, it was very legitimate. I view Peter Parker as like that social geek in high school who is very
this is the new
kind
clean
of
slate for the new genre, so looks way better.
What I like about this movie is that it's different. I've seen
unique, funny.
It's different.
One villain.
Like I was telling Shree earlier, it's a different Spider-Man. You do not see all the stuff you saw before. It's gone. It revamped the character. It revamped the world of Spider-Man. It revamped everything. It had different characters. It had its own setting. It's reviving the character. It's completely different from the stuff we've seen before. And to be totally honest, there's only so many times that you can tell the same story. They did that with Spider-Man. They did that with The Amazing Spider-Man. Hell, they even did that with TV series back from the 60s.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was pointless.
I got so tired of seeing, how he became Spider-Man and all that. I just wanted something different.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was literally pointless at the end. The action was awesome.
The action scenes, in my opinion, are kind of meh compared to the other...
For him, meh. For me, awesome.
Well, here's the thing. In the other Spider-Man movies, we had more things getting destroyed and more action. But in Spider-Man Homecoming, it's like we have a scene at a bank, okay? We have a scene where Spider-Man's holding on to a van and it's like zooming all over the place with a... What was that thing? The shocker? Where I was gonna say that the action scenes were not that great compared to the other ones, the ferry scene was epic. I will admit. That was, I think, the point where the movie decides, you know what, let's keep our fans on the edge of our seat, of their seats, excuse me, and we're gonna put something really cool. And I read somewhere that they actually filmed it on a real ferry with cars, and that was, I think, really, really cool.
One thing I did like about it is where that Robert Downey Jr. was actually there, it's a father figure, but he took his suit because I think...
He only comes when the plot needs it to, but it's not obvious, like, it's not saying, okay, Iron Man, the plot needs you, come here,
they did pretty well.
The plot needs your motivational wisdom speeches.
They actually did pretty well. They actually did a little bit really well with that, with the Robert Downey Jr.'s acting thing. He did excellent with this film.
Well, he's a pretty good actor.
I like him. It'd be kind of cool if I meet him, so it'd be so awesome.
He was nominated for an Oscar twice.
It'd be kind of cool definitely when we meet him. It'd be so cool. Like,
I actually... The only other Avenger we see in this movie is Captain America. And his appearance is actually kind of funny. Wow. Basically, the school that Peter Parker goes to, which is a different school, by the way, they play these little promotional videos in the gym and in detention. And, and at the end of a movie, if you watch all the way up to the end credits, which you usually do because it's a Marvel movie, they do that a lot, Captain America comes and says like something like, "You sat here waiting for something excited and only to find extreme disappointment." and then he says, how many more of these? And then it just cuts to black, and then there's text on the screen, and everybody in the audience just started cheering as the text said, "Spider-Man will return." And I'm like, what is this?
That means they're gonna bring back.
I mean,
they're gonna continue the saga.
I'm saying to myself, okay, I haven't seen anything like this before. I'm like saying to myself, okay, why are they doing this? How could they do this? And then the Sony logo comes. That was one thing. I was gonna let that go, but then the Sony logo comes up, and then the next thing it says, "Be moved." I'm like, what does that mean?
I don't even know what that means, but let you know. Do you think this needs a sequel? It's up to you, because I believe
personally, I think so.
Because
it
does.
Because there's a lot more of a story to tell. Obviously, there's a lot more.
This one has more good things to it. They can actually probably revamp it a little bit better. You know, if they
how about this? You know,
for the sequel,
show more Vulture, please. I want to know what his backstory was.
But to let you know, Vulture, show him a little more backstory. But if you guys make a sequel, make sure Venom comes not in the second film or the third right now. Make sure it comes a little bit.
Or Sandman, or Green Goblin.
Not just yet. Make sure they come a little bit later, but maybe
or Reptile.
Reptile, that's a little bit late. I think first, the second.
Or the Rhino.
I believe it. Yeah, but those things they probably will come later.
Or Venom.
The second film, I believe they can actually add a little Vulture. Yes, it needs.
I would give it a 4 out of 5.
I give it a 5.
All right. See you next time, guys.
Bye, guys.